All right, guys, welcome to our call tonight and the series Why Plexus. And tonight we decided to bring you this why Plexus and weight loss. And I'm sure you guys all understand the reason why. Almost every single person that comes to Plexus is coming here for weight loss of some sort, whether it's the primary reason that they're here or whether it's, the one of the reasons that they're here. Everybody wants to be their healthiest. And of course, that means being at a healthy weight. What I love about Plexus is that it doesn't approach weight loss in the conventional way. We're approaching weight loss in a more holistic way, in a more health-centric way, and kind of tackling the root reasons why our body has trouble dropping weight and getting to its ideal weight. And so Cameron's going to join us tonight, obviously, and talk to us all about the science behind that. We're going to tackle some of the commonly asked questions and give you guys some advice on how to just give yourself the best possible chances at weight loss and to utilize these products to the best of their ability and the most effective way. And then we have a very, very special guest tonight. As we all know, weight loss and Plexus and everything to do with Plexus isn't just for females. It's also for males as well. And so one of my good friends, Steve Welch, is actually on here tonight, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his journey with Plexus. And I love his story because it comes from a male perspective, and I also love his story because his results weren't right away. It took him a little bit to get to the results he's after, and that's normal. So, Steve, if you could take it away, we'd love to hear your story tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. I'm thrilled to be here tonight. I apologize if you all weren't expecting to have some bearded weirdo guy talking to you right off the back, but like Sarah said, it's not just for the ladies. So I'm going to try to keep this kind of brief because we're talking about weight loss tonight. So there's a whole backstory to my Plexus journey, which was Amy and I starting with the products, and she had immediate great like firecracker energy coming from all over the place. And mine was sort of very slow. My cholesterol dropped early, but then I didn't see any weight loss. And then I had some chronic discomfort issues that went away. But that was over the course of 6-9 months. It wasn't actually, and don't let me make it sound like that's not a big deal. The changes I had in the discomfort were, for me, phenomenal. I mean, like literally sitting on the floor crying with my daughter, realizing that I can be present with her every day because I'm not thinking about pain in my back or my feet. So just that alone for me was awesome. But I kept taking products. It was a year ago, just now, that the company announced this program they call, right now we're doing the Fit Squad. Last year they announced this 60-day trim up program, and it just happened that when they announced it, I was back home in Ohio, and we were spending time with family at Christmas. A backstory with me was my dad passed away when I was 21. And what that meant was I walked both my sisters down the aisle of their wedding, and I'm back home. I'm visiting family. I'm thinking about that, and here I've got this little girl. I'm coming up on 39 years old. My dad had his first heart attack when he was 42, and all this stuff is starting to connect. And I thought to myself, you know what? I've never really fully embraced the products and this amazing support network of people in my Plexus family that wanted to see me succeed. So what I had to do is I had to reevaluate what is it I'm doing with products. I had energy now. I didn't have all the chronic discomfort I dealt with for years, which meant that now I could get up and I could move. So what did I do specific about weight loss? I did just a few very simple things, and I'm not going to lie to you folks. I hit the gym. I got up and I started moving. Okay. And I could do that because I wasn't in pain all the time. I finally, a simple little thing, I started drinking my water. You're supposed to drink half your weight in ounces every day. I had never done that. And I'll be honest, for the first 10 days, it's kind of hard. You're busy. You're getting up. you got somewhere to go every so often. But you know what? 10 days in, 2 weeks in, it's like your body adjusts to all that. I knew that I needed to drink water. I had never really embraced it to help make those products work. So I'm drinking my water, I'm getting up, and I'm going to the gym. But I had to look at my regimen of products I was using. So I stayed on our triplex. That is the core of what we do to get your gut healthy, right? So I'm doing that. I'm still taking my X Factor multivitamin because that's important to make sure you're getting all of that, all the nutrients from that. And the aloe is a big deal. But for weight loss, I had to do a couple things different. I added this little power pack combo. I started taking Edge and Accelerator, but I started taking them together as a pre-workout, which I had never tried before. I had tried Accelerator a couple of times. I had tried Edge when it first came out. Putting them together as a pre-workout was phenomenal for me. Not only did I get the energy out of the Edge, but because I'm working out and because I changed my nutrition plan a little bit, I also had mental focus with it, which had been an issue for me in the past. We've all tried to go to the gym before. We've all tried to change a little bit what we're eating. And a few days in, you're exhausted, you're grumpy, you're tired, you can't concentrate. Having the energy, having the focus, and then Accelerator just kicks your metabolism up a little bit. So I was taking these pre-workout every morning before I hit the gym. And then I was taking Accelerator again later on in the afternoon. I was doing twice a day. I was doing my Slim twice a day. But the second Slim a day, I paired it up with one of these two beauties. Now, what are these? It's P96. It's our protein powder shake. What I didn't do was I wasn't using that as a meal replacement, which is not what it's intended for. I was actually trying to up what I was eating. So I was trying to eat 6 times a day. I don't have time to fix 6 meals a day. I do have time to throw a couple of these in my bag and take a shaker bottle. And I'm already drinking water, so I can mix that up. My second Slim a day, I'd throw it in with one of these. It tasted fantastic. What did I do there? We've all started working out early in the year, and I know we're coming up on resolution day. I think the 19th is the official day of like everybody's ditched their resolution. I decided last year I can commit to anything for 60 days. I lost a little over 30 pounds in that 60 days out into the summer. So within like the first 6 months, I actually lost 48 pounds last year. I've kept most of that off. I dropped my cholesterol. That's another one. It's great to lose a few pounds, lose a few inches. But my cholesterol had always been 180 and above. After I started taking Plexus, it actually dropped 138. So to not only lose some weight, to buy some new clothes because I couldn't fit my old ones anymore, but to actually be healthier on the inside, phenomenal. So that's kind of my weight loss story. Happy to talk to anybody more in more detail about it anytime.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's I've loved watching your transformation. I wish I could post the before and after of you up here right now because it's pretty phenomenal. If you guys don't know, Steve is actually, he lives in our neighborhood. And so I've seen kind of firsthand this, the slow transformation. And it's amazing what happens when you get consistent with the products, when you get consistent with the water, and then also when you start working with the products instead of against the products. And like you said, the health aspects happen as well. And not only that, I mean, these products are super easy to take. It's not hard to, put something additional in your mouth, right? So it's really easy to stick to the Plexus plan as well once you get into the habit of it. But that consistency is so darn key. So I'm going to pass it over to Cameron now to talk to us a little bit about the why. I'm a why person. I want to know why it's helping, how it's working, what it's doing inside of me to make this weight loss happen. And I think for all of us, that's going to help you guys to understand how to work with these products, how to help people have success on these products, and how to explain so they understand and they get what's happening inside their body so that the proper expectations can be set. Because you guys, we are not on a crash diet here. We are on a lifestyle change. So it's a much different beast. It's a much different mentality that you have to walk into it with. So Cameron, take it away.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Thanks for having me, Sarah. Part of my story is liking to tell people that I wish I would have read all these gut health articles and all these wonderful things about gut health, and I would have been so enlightened that I decided to come to Plexus. But no, I too came to Plexus for weight loss. I was doing everything right. I lived in Utah and I was backpacking all day and having the weight and eating healthy snacks and eating clean and doing all that. And nothing was changing in my body. And little did I know, it's just because I was doing the right things, but part of my body was just out of whack. Whenever I owned my Pilates studio and I did nutritional counseling and metabolic coaching, I was very anti-supplement. I believed calorie in, calorie out. Like, you need to do it the right way with diet and exercise alone. But something I've learned is that that's not always the key. What is the key is that Plexus is a tool. In fact, it's about 80, your weight loss journey is about 80% of nutrition. Only 10% of genetics or something going wrong in your body, and another 10% of working out. So a lot of people think, oh, I need to work out and I need to do this. But no, it's really, what are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in your bodies? You've got to make that change as well to use Plexus as a tool. And then address those other things in there, like your inflammation, your gut health, and all that. So coming out of this and understanding that Plexus is a tool and food is fuel. When your body eats something, if you put a Snickers in your body's not like, yay, a Snickers, your body breaks it apart into pieces and does what it does. Well, here, I'm going to do this with the sugar. We're going to store that into fat. All right, well, the protein from the nuts, we're going to do this, the fiber, its job is to break it apart. So your body doesn't know what it's eating. Your body's job is to break it apart. So starting to change those things in your diet is going to be very key into working with weight loss. So we like to say Plexus is big, right? Blood sugars, inflammation, and gut health. And those are the three things I want to talk about on how that contributes to weight loss, as well as nutritional deficiencies. So the first thing to say is that our fat cells, they're known to generate inflammatory messengers. We talked about messengers last week, or cytokines. These are markers that you can pull in people's blood that show that there's inflammation. So your fat cells are shown to produce these cytokine messengers that eventually lead to reactions that tell your body to stop reacting to insulin and leptin. So your body, just to understand that a little bit, is that, as your body is sending signals with these excess fat cells, the big fat cells, that are sending messengers in your body to shut down two important processes. So let's talk a little bit first about blood sugars. What is a blood sugar? It's simply the amount of sugar in your bloodstream. And your body needs to operate on the amount in there in a narrow window. So if it's too high, your body just triggers into action, releases a lot of insulin, says we need to get the blood sugars down, because your body can't have excess or too low of blood sugars. It has to stay in a narrow range. So when you eat something high in sugar or carbs, your blood sugar is spiking up and your body is flooding the system with insulin, which is your fat storage hormone. Insulin is responsible for helping your body take this glucose and getting it into the fat cells, so you can either metabolize it for energy or store it as fat, because fat cells are just storage vessels. That's all they are. And they're designed to hold and store fat, and fat is energy. And so when your blood sugars are all wonky, your body is being triggered to store fat. So Plexus Slim goes in there and helps stabilize those blood sugars, so your body is not triggering a lot of insulin coming out, which triggers your body to store fat. So automatically that Plexus Slim is just getting those blood sugars back in balance, as well as things like the alpha lipoic acid and things like that help your body with fat metabolism, so getting your body to use fat more readily. So that's what's great about the Slim. Wonky blood sugars also cause inflammation. So getting those blood sugars back in check are going to help work on your body to calm inflammation. The key is just understanding, when you're eating a diet of excess sugar, it's got to go somewhere. Your body's got to deal with it. And so that's the first key, is trying to address how much sugar you're actually eating in your diet. I mean, from juices to actual sugar to breads to carbohydrates to sugary drinks. Even soda, Diet Coke. Are you drinking Diet Coke right now? Because your body doesn't know that sugar is calorie free. Your body just addresses like it's a type of sugar, and it does the same chemical process. You drink your Diet Coke, that aspartame triggers your body to let go of insulin, and your body is triggered to store fat. So while there might not be calories in it, your body doesn't know that. It's setting off the chemical messengers in your body. So you got to make those changes to work with your blood sugars and to work with inflammation. Magnesium is another very important thing in the body. It helps your body make it makes insulin, and it helps use insulin. So they're very well correlated. You get a lot of people, I don't want the BioCleanse, I don't need it. Well, magnesium is so important for toxin removal, but it's also important for your blood sugars. They play a role in each other. It takes 54 molecules of magnesium to convert 1 molecule of blood sugar in your bloodstream. So if you don't have enough magnesium, your body is not converting the energy as well. So that is very important to control your blood sugars, is to take that magnesium. So what about inflammation? Well, inflammation is shown to really, really affect the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is in control of your insulin as well as your leptin. And we talked last week about the glands, and we had the thyroid. Your hypothalamus is a gland that produces hormones, which are messengers in your body. And so when that's all out of whack, this inflammation is being caused in your body is, we already talked about being insulin resistant and blood sugars, but also leptin is the messenger that your body, as you're getting full, your body sends this messenger to the brain via the vagus nerve and says, I'm full, stop eating. But they have found in people that have excess weight and inflammation in their body that process is stopped. Your brain is not getting the signal to stop eating. So you're eating and eating and eating until you can't eat anymore, because that inflammation is causing that messenger not to, your body's ignoring it and just going to keep eating it, because the receptors for that hormone is resistant. They're not reacting to it. So inflammation causes that. Inflammation causes insulin problems as well as leptin problems. So it's really important to address that inflammation with weight loss. Candida causes inflammation. So that's what's great. You know, we talk about inflammation with blood sugars. Magnesium is a common mineral, but also candida, we got to pull the weeds out, because the weeds are causing all kinds of inflammation in our body. So it must be addressed. Inflammation is a huge key in weight loss. If you're not addressing inflammation, all that diet and exercise you're doing is not doing anything. And so they're very important to work together. And at the end, we'll talk a little bit about inflammatory foods and how it's important to not work against the products. Sarah will talk about that. So what about gut health? Well, we talk about leaky gut a lot, where the junctions of our gut lining have been damaged or ruptures, allowing for foreign objects to get into our bloodstream, causing inflammation. That inflammation, we can see, can cause insulin resistant and leptin resistant. So it's important to heal that leaky gut to get our bodies to start working well. So that takes time. But dysbiosis, they found if you take gut bacteria from an obese rat or a patient, they have different gut bacteria than somebody that has a healthy metabolism. It's off. A healthy metabolism might have more of a good bacteria than the person with obesity, and the obesity might have more bad than good. So getting that dysbiosis back up, planting those seeds, getting the weeds out so the seeds can be in there. Also, Akkermansia is a big one. That's a gut bacteria that controls our metabolism. And our Slim has that prebiotic that is clinically proven to help boost that metabolism. So, you know, not only might you have some blood sugar issues as well as inflammation, but your gut is most likely out of balance. So getting in there and pulling the weeds out and working on that dysbiosis so your different bacteria can thrive and send messengers and signals again to the brain and get everything to calm down. All I hear when I think about this, I think a lot about a garden. Again, if you were to plant a seed, if you walk day one into a garden and pulled out everything and planted seeds, it's going to take some time. So how much inflammation do you have in your body? How long has it been going on? What have you been doing to your body? What has your body been through? How much stress? You know, that inflammation is going to affect the healing of your gut and stabilizing of your blood sugars. So what about nutritional deficiency? Why do we recommend the vitamin before we recommend accelerator? Well, your nutrients, vitamin A, vitamin C, magnesium, calcium, all those things are building blocks to things that you need in your body. And so if you've had a poor diet or leaky gut, meaning your body's not absorbing the nutrients, you'll have a deficiency, and you need these building blocks. Like your body needs magnesium to produce insulin, and your body needs magnesium to convert glucose into the bloodstream. So you're replacing that deficiency so your body is going to work more properly. Different things. Your body needs these building blocks to build muscle. So maybe you're going to the gym all the time and you're not seeing any results because your body doesn't have the building blocks necessary to build your muscle. So getting that nutritional deficiency back in order, adding a vitamin and putting all the stuff in your body has all the tools it needs, the proper diet, moving and exercising, getting out chemicals and replacing things, they're going to help your body deal with inflammation and accept these changes are important. So when I think about weight loss and what I know about exercise and diet and gut health and all the things going on, what is my advice? It would be to understand that the triplex works together very synergistically to go in there and help with inflammation, stabilize the blood sugar. Let's get those chemical messengers in the brain going again so the body can hear it, and replacing those nutritional deficiencies. Really taking a good look. What are anti-inflammatory foods? Are you drinking low-fat milk or fat-free this? That's just a chemical shitstorm. I'm sorry, I have to say it on here. You're drinking a chemical shitstorm in your body. So, you know, you have to go back to it. Why do we don't take things that are processed? Drink the whole milk. Don't take things that have things removed to it. We want things in the most natural form. And what about chemicals? Are you drinking Diet Coke? Are you having Crystal Light? Are you drinking, are you having a sugar-free cereal? I don't know. Really looking at your diet. Are you taking pro-inflammatory foods or anti-inflammatory foods? Do your research on that. What foods do you need to cut out? Too much dairy, too much cheese, to allow your body to not have the inflammation in it. Use it as a tool. And really look at those sodas. Very, very important. If you're drinking sodas, I don't really know what to say to you at this point. And then the same thing as Steve said, water. Your body uses water to flush out things. Your body needs the water to absorb the nutrients and to do what it needs to do and get things out. So it's important to look at weight loss as a whole rather than a magic pill. If you have people that come to you with the magic pill, say, you know what, I think you should keep looking. And if you find one, you're going to give me a call first thing, because it's all about changing that lifestyle and getting healthy from the inside out and understanding most likely none of us got overweight in 3 to 6 months. It's been years of weight and problems and yo-yo dieting and all different types of things. So give your body time. You know, we say 3 to 6 months, but really look at it as a 6 months and make the big changes. With that, I wanted to pass over to Sarah. Thank you for having with me. And I'm happy to talk about this anytime if you're having issues holding on to weight.
Thank you so much, Cameron. I loved everything you said. I think it's just so important for us to understand that we've got to work with these products. I loved how she explained that there's those 4 key areas that Plexus helps with, which is the inflammation, blood sugar, gut health, and nutritional deficiency. All of those 4 things cause or help our body to heal itself from the inside out. Our bodies were not designed to be overweight, to overeat, to crave foods that we shouldn't be eating. Our bodies were designed to work and to keep us at a healthy weight. The problem is with the diet and medications and everything like that, we're constantly throwing our body out of sync, out of whack. And those processes that our body has in place don't work properly when that happens. And so if you're sitting here, say you are just starting out on Plexus tonight, and you're sitting here going, wait, I thought you said that this wasn't a diet. It is not a diet, but what we're asking you to do is to simply work with the products. Our products are trying to balance your gut. So let's not intake things that are going to throw that balance completely back off, right? So let's not eat sugar, because the candida feeds on sugar and that throws our gut balance completely off again. Let's limit our alcohol consumption. We're not telling you to eliminate the things that you love, because that's not sustainable, right? So if you love a glass of wine while you're cooking dinner or something like that, we're not saying that you have to completely cut those things out, but you need to realistically look at your lifestyle and everything and take it all into account and work with the product. So earlier she mentioned some inflammatory foods, like what are inflammatory foods? And I know for a lot of us, we just don't even know. You know, we don't realize that, say, the yogurt that we think that we're eating for breakfast, it seems super healthy. I mean, we're depriving ourselves of the waffles that we want to eat, right? But we're eating yogurt that has the same sugar content as ice cream or donuts. And so it's really, really important to start looking at those food labels. So what you're wanting to do when you're sitting down and you're thinking about your next meal or your weekly plan, that kind of thing, what Cameron said was that we want to get our foods as whole as possible, as whole and as not removed from their original state. So nothing that's sitting on the grocery store shelves and has preservatives and everything like that. Those are all chemicals, and those are all keeping them shelf stable, which is going to throw your gut and your blood sugars and everything off. So your body is going to have to actively work to restore that, right? So inflammatory foods, alcohol is one. sugar is one, dairy is one, processed meats, deli meat, turkey, those kinds of things. You guys, I encourage you to look up what inflammatory foods are. Those foods are artificial sugars is a huge one, causes lots and lots of inflammation, and it's something that's sneaky. You think you're eating a diet food, and instead you've added something that is throwing all of this off and is actually making you gain weight. Those artificial sugars are very, very dangerous to your weight loss plan. So keep those in mind as you're as you're coaching through your Plexus users, as you're coaching through yourself. Those are all really big things to think of. So whole foods, whole food diet, go for the whole milk, like she said. If you're gonna drink milk, just whole foods is what we're after. Fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh meat, grass-fed where you can for beef, those kinds of things. But that's a really huge part of it. The other aspect is we need to be consistent on our products. We cannot expect, it's kind of like birth control. We can't expect to take one pill of birth control on a Monday and expect to be covered for the whole month, right? Or covered for the whole week. You're probably going to end up maybe having an unexpected surprise, right? So our products work the same way. I say that because it's the most common thing that people can kind of get. Our products work with each other every single day, building on top of what they did the previous day. So consistency is key more than anything else. And drinking that water, your body needs water to survive. Your body needs water to fuel those processes. So drinking your water is a huge key as well. Those are the first things to start with, right? And then we want to really pay attention to our body as we're going through this. So say you've started Plexus, you're 2 weeks in, and typically at night you have some ice cream before bed or some kind of sweet or something like that. And suddenly you find yourself reaching for it more so out of habit than anything else. And those are the things you want to pay attention to. Plexus is working so hard to stop those cravings, but if you continue to feed the habit, not the actual craving, the craving's going to develop into that cycle again. So really paying attention to what your body is actually craving, because we were not designed to crave sugary things. We were not designed to crave those bad foods for us. It's truly more habit than anything else. And the expectations that we set and that we have in our head, all of us want quick. We're a fast food nation, right? We want quick, we want right now, we want our results right now. Well, like Steve said at the beginning of the call, he started noticing things at first, like his cholesterol coming down. He noticed his pain going away and those inflammation symptoms that he was having going away. And that's what you want to key in on. And those are the building blocks. Those are the tiny little footprints in your journey that are going to end with you having a huge testimony down the road. Every Monday and every week that you step into and you have stayed consistent the week before, you are 1 week closer to having an incredible testimony. So always keep that in mind. Don't stop because you blew it on a Monday, you ate something bad that you weren't supposed to. Continue on the course. Stay consistent anyway, and you will end up with those incredible results. So you're also going to notice that you're going to see some changes in your cravings for good foods. You might start craving more water. You might start craving vegetables instead of fruits. You might start craving things that are less sugary and less carby and those kinds of things. So pay attention to that as well. So from an expectation standpoint, don't set your expectations that you're going to lose weight within the first 30 days. I will tell you guys, I have hit my goal weight. I've been on these products for 4 years. I hit my goal weight within the first year. However, I gained weight in my first 30 days. As I was going through that detox cycle, you guys need to stay off that scale. That's a big thing, is staying off that scale, because your body can, as you're rehydrating your body, the number on that scale can actually go up before it goes down. Not only that, as you're starting to go through die-off from our triplex, you will also start to notice that you might be carrying some excess bowel movements in your system, and so that waste can kind of build up and make that number seem higher, and you may get more bloated, have more cravings and more before you actually start to lose and to go through that full detox cycle. Cameron, did you have something that you wanted to say or add in right there? Sorry.
Yes, I've been seeing in the chats about how like the yogurt and stuff. It's very important to understand that 0% fat and low fat. You want to go full fat. Your body uses fat to absorb nutrients, so you're not doing your body any good with that.
Yes, it is absolutely so true.
Mm.
And go ahead.
I also want to add, in the research I found that one thing to understand, you can completely change your microbiome. Your gut bacteria can completely change with one single episode of binge drinking. And in the United States, like binge drinking isn't like 10 drinks, it's a couple. And so that's how sensitive, when she talks about consistency, within 24 hours, your microbiome can change. So that consistency is key to keep mitigating those damages that have caused by different lifestyle things.
Absolutely. And so one of the things to think of, not all of us are well versed on what's healthy and what's not, what's nutritionally sound and what's not. My rule of thumb is to just try and stay as close to the actual food as you can, like the apple. Instead of the apple sauce that you're buying in the can, you're eating the apple, those kinds of things, as close to the natural state of the product as you can, or as the food as you can. And then from there too, a really great tool that I have found that has just been exceptional at being a great self-check, and one I can't really lie about, is MyFitnessPal. I love having everybody log in at least for 2 weeks. Just do a 2-week, no lies, put it into MyFitnessPal and put every single darn thing that you eat. Don't lie about the fact that you put half and half or sugar in your coffee. Put it all in there. And at the end of the day, it'll give you a ratio. You guys, you don't want to go carb free. You don't want to eliminate things from your diet. Your body needs carbs, but what you want to do is you want to have healthy carbs. And so you've slowly got to educate yourself and start reaching for those kinds of things. But the key is, from a product perspective, I always recommend the triplex to start out with. We did human clinical studies on the triplex, and it had rave reviews. You guys can look it up. It was an incredible study, and the placebo lost basically nothing. It was nothing. And then the triplex group that they had lost, I think it was 8.9 pounds, if I'm remembering correctly. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere around in that range. So you guys, that's where I always start everybody with. And then we kind of have a conversation about, okay, what is your diet like? What is your exercise life like? What are your goals on this? What kinds of things are you needing to have help with straight off the bat? Maybe I'm going to add block in there because they literally cannot seem to step away from the crazy sugar carbs. And so block might be part of it. Maybe they're having blood sugar regulation post-meal issues. So block I may be adding in to help with those types of issues. If they have crazy pain and just clearly obvious inflammation, ease might be a part of it too, because we've got to bring down that inflammation to help with their weight loss. The nutritional deficiency part is huge. Like Cameron said, I'm just kind of reiterating a few of the things that she said to kind of help out. But our X factor is absolutely incredible. It's not synthetic, which is actually very, very unique for a multivitamin, which some of you may find as surprising. However, that is a huge key in weight loss, because if your body it's screaming out for nutrients, it's wanting nutrients to be given to it. That's our fuel, right? And if it's feeling like, say you're eating a whole bunch of fast food and not so great stuff, it doesn't have a lot of those nutrients that's essential for your body to survive on. So it's hoarding everything and it's packing on the weight. But when you are getting the correct makeup of nutrients being absorbed into your body is less likely to hold on to all those excess things. So that X factor is a sneaky little key that a lot of people overlook. It's a multivitamin, but a lot of people overlook it for weight loss, and it turns out to be their magic key to success. When they add it in, they start to drop those pounds. So all of that to say, I think the big keys here are, guys, put up your dukes. Are you working with the products? Or are you fighting with the products? Or are you fighting against the products? That's a huge thing to think every single day that you're taking these products. You want to not set yourself back. this isn't putting the products to the test. This is committing to the lifestyle change that Plexus is helping you bring about, and Plexus is going to take it to the next level. It's the missing link between what you're doing in the gym and what you're doing in the kitchen. That supplementation is so key because our soil and our nutrients and the food that we're eating now is so devoid of nutrients. It's so far removed from what it was 50 years ago. Check out the video that Cameron and I did on why we need to supplement. Why supplementation? Why Plexus? Why is it different from everything else on the grocery store shelves? It'll help you understand the true need for supplementation, but especially as it comes to gut health. The gut health part of this and the blood sugar regulation and the nutritional deficiency are so key in dropping that weight. So I hope that we have helped you guys a little bit tonight. We are always around for questions and everything like that. And yes, Gina, X Factor is the best time in the morning. And you guys, I like to take it with my Mega X because the X Factor actually has a lot of fat soluble vitamins in it, and that Mega X really helps you to absorb it even better when you take it alongside it. So hopefully that helps you guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the recording, and thank you guys so much. Our next call, by the way, is on Wednesday, and it's going to be covering all things autoimmune. So let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you on Wednesday.